Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks Postgame Show, powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at comed.com/clean. Thanks for being with us. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen. The Hawks lose to the Nashville Predators 4-3 in the shootout. We're going to break it all down. But hey, before we do, make sure you smash that like button for us. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Podcast listeners, 5-star review, please, on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That'd be very helpful. And make sure you're following or subscribed wherever you get your podcast. Mario will be back soon, a little bit under the weather, so we're kind of day by day. Nothing long-term. He's not on LTIR or anything like that, but out for the foreseeable future, but we can't wait to get him back here. So it's just Greg and I holding it down today. So that was hold it down. That was look, it was a good game. The Hawks played well. They got an early lead, then they fell behind, then they battled back. Like, what you saw for them for 65 minutes was pretty satisfying hockey from the Hawks. For against a team who's playing pretty well. We call them the Mid-Atters, but they're still a much better roster than the Hawks have. To me, and I don't want to sound like I'm harsh or overreacting, this was a goalie loss.
Yeah, yes.
You got to stop something.
2 of the goals in the second period were off of giant, juicy rebounds.
Massive. Not Juicy Soros, juicy rebounds.
Right. His cousin, juicy rebounds. One of those, Kevin Korchinski could have made a play. I mean, if we're going to go through the goal scoring, we can talk about them individually. But, and then in the shootout, dude, stop something. Anything. Something.
Just get a piece of something.
Like, they just shooting it right at him, and he had no chance.
Yeah, it's
no
rough.
chance. And I see we got people in the chat. Send him down. Get it. No.
Yeah, it's
no, because Drew Comezzo is not NHL ready. Jackson Stauber, I don't think, is an NHL goalie. But he's still let those guys play. Hey, with this loss, you got 1 point. San Jose Sharks scored 3 goals in the third period against the New York Islanders to send that game to overtime, and then won in overtime with 4 seconds left. Guess what? The Chicago Blackhawks have the fewest points in the NHL right now. Remember how laughable we were all talking? The Sharks going to win a game this year? Well, they now have 1 more point than the Chicago Blackhawks. And part of that is because Arvid Soderblom is not a good goalie.
Well, and
so
look,
if you want a high draft pick, keep throwing them out there.
That's the formula. Yeah, I mean, if you're, and I think a lot of just based on the conversations we've had on this show after losses, there's a lot of people that want us to get back into the tank spins and things like that, and we're not going to do that because I don't want to turn us into a show where we start rooting for losses. But if that's what you're focused on, and you're looking at a great draft pick, you want to get the best pick you can. Soderblom's the guy you want in goal because
Mrazek hasn't been great the last 5 starts either.
Well, look, like you can't look. Here's my thing with a goalie. At some point in the game, make a save you're not supposed to, and I don't see that happening. It happens more often with Mrazek. I never see it with Soderblom.
No, we saw it. What was it, the Winnipeg game? That second goal.
Yeah,
went right through his legs on a shot. Was it Barron?
Yeah,
made up name guy on his birthday. Shoots right between his legs. Yeah, the rebound control has not been there this year. Just the confidence hasn't been there this year.
Yeah.
The positioning hasn't been there this year. And, and yes, I know Drew Comezzo is not NHL ready because he got torched for 6 goals in the AHL tonight. Dude has played 13, 14 professional games.
Yeah.
Relax.
Pump the brakes. Be
Relax.
patient.
He's a 21-year-old kid that's in his first age. What difference does it make if it's Drew Commesso or Arvid Soderblom right now?
Right. Why would you want to take Commesso, who overall has been good this year, and throw him to the fire?
We spent the entire he who shall not be named regime the entire time screaming that they don't know how to develop players, and now we don't want to develop anybody. We just want to get them out there because we know a name and a position he plays in. Come on.
And then he gets off to a bad start, and then he's a bust, and then what, right?
Drew Commesso is playing the
just give him
entire
time.
year in Rockford, and
As he
probably
should.
most of next year too. Like, if he's your guy, you got to take your time with him. And if we want a top 3 draft pick again, then Arvid Soderblom's your guy, because he's definitely going to help you get there.
I mean,
and I cannot wait until the Blackhawks somehow win the NHL draft lottery again. Oh my God! I'm going to be on Twitter that night with no pants on. That's how exciting
the sphere is going to be lit.
It's going to be so great that the NHL rigs it again for us. I can't wait.
Love it. Yeah, look, and like there's people I've seen say, trade for Jack Campbell. No. Stop trading for other people's
and
crap.
He signed for 3 more seasons.
No, you don't want that.
No.
All right. Anyway, we got some stuff to do. We're going to let you vote for the 4-star. Here are the 3 stars of the game, and I want to know if this person who voted and they don't list who it is anymore actually watched the game. The number 3 star of the game was UC Saros, who stopped 25 of 28 Hawk shots. Okay, he was nothing special. Number 2 star was Ryan O'Reilly. He had a goal. And your number 1 star, Philip Forsberg, with 1 assist and the shootout winner. No Hawks get a star of the game.
Nick Foligno, 2 goals and an assist. His best game of the season.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get a star. I don't get it.
Really weird. I think some of these voters are like, here's the formula I'm going to use to pick them.
It's like they have 2 lists. If Nashville wins, these 3 guys are the stars.
Well,
if the Blackhawks win, then these 3 guys.
Well, I'll tell you. So, all right. So
Forsberg has a assist. Now, granted, but he also scored the game-winning goal in the shootout.
There's a lot
Shot
of
it right at Soderblom.
Yeah.
He didn't save it.
Yeah. So when I was producing Hawks games, I could hear the conversation like between breaks, and when it would be the nights that Troy and John would pick the stars, and it was a close game, they would say, okay, 3 is this, 2 is this, and 1 is whoever gets the game winner. Because you have to submit it with like 7 minutes left in the game. So there will usually leave like a blank space there. And it makes sense. Like, okay, fine. Whoever gets the game winner is the number 1 star. Fine. But like, you had a bunch of Hawks playing out of their mind in this one.
We had 1 line.
Yeah, right,
One
right.
line.
Well, here are your nominees. So if you're unhappy about this, vote in our YouTube page. Here are the nominees for the chat's 4-star of the game. Nick Foligno, 2 goals, an assist, +3, 3 shots, 5 shot attempts, a hit, and a block shot. Seth Jones, another day at the office, 29:04 of ice time, 2 assists, +3, 2 shots, 6 shot attempts, and 2 block shots. And Jason Dickinson with a goal, +2, a shot, 3 shot attempts, and he won 8 and lost 8 faceoffs. 3 guys who played very well. And this is one of those games where, yeah, I know he ended the game with 2 assists and a +3, but like, it was a very good like little things game from Seth Jones, where there were these making these little plays like banging a pass off the boards or getting back on a 2-on-1 and breaking up a pass, like the things that are not showing up.
Keeping the puck in the zone.
Oh my God! On that power play, that was one of the best puck holds I've ever seen.
I don't have a metric or research on this, but I turned to you and you agreed to me during the first prayer. I said Seth Jones has to be one of the top 5 defensemen in the league at keeping plays alive, keeping the puck in the zone. He does it at 5-on-5 and on the power play. It just seems that anytime that puck is getting anywhere near the blue line, he's there to knock it down, keep it in. Those are things that are highly underrated and go unnoticed a lot. But great game from him tonight. Vlasic was pretty good too.
Yeah, he was solid.
He was a +2 on the night. Connor Murphy.
Slightly better, but still.
That second, was it the second Nashville goal or the first Nashville goal?
I don't know if he's totally healthy.
Second Nashville goal. First Nashville goal was because the top line can't get the puck through the neutral zone. Again, this is a major problem. Not just the top line, but how many times did the Blackhawks get the puck in the defensive zone, they skate up like 5 feet, and then they hand grenade it to somebody, and it's going right back the other way.
It happened a lot.
It happens 20 times a night. Defensive zone exits are a problem with this team up and down the lineup. Second goal was the goal that Murphy got faked out by the future Hall of Famer Colton Sissons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody gets faked out by him. And then Soderblom makes the save, kicks out the rebound, and it was Luke Evangelista with the
second goal was Nashville. Second goal was Jankowski.
Jankowski.
Yeah.
Another future Hall of Famer. That play was, okay, Sissons gets by Murphy.
Murphy kind of poke checks it and like hops over his stick and over him.
Soderblom makes the save. The puck's there.
Of course.
Korchinski's there. Stick at his waist. Jankowski easy tap it. Get the freaking stick on the ice. Tie up the stick. He could have Korchinski was caught. He could have either tried to prevent the initial shot, which he didn't, or tie up the stick on the rebound, which he didn't. Instead, he just kind of stood there and watched, had the best seat in the house. I know he's a teenager playing in the NHL, but those are things.
That's basic.
That's awareness.
Yeah.
And there was no awareness on that play.
Should we recap the scoring?
Sure,
let's do that. All right, so first period, 5:57 into the game. Nick Foligno makes it 1-0 Hawks. Seth Jones has the puck kind of along the goal line, walks a little bit behind, feeds it out to Foligno in front, and he goes short side, kind of like lifts it. Saros gets a piece, and then it kind of flops into the net. So it's 1-0 Hawks to end the first period. Second period, that's when all hell broke loose. 2:11 into the game, Luke Evangelista scores after Tyler Johnson turns it over with a bad exit pass. Then Zaitsev gets the puck back in the zone. He can't clear it, and Evangelista scores on the rebound. Then you have another goal 26 seconds later from Jankowski, the one we just talked about, where the poke check chums over Murphy. Korchinski's got his stick not on the ice, and Nashville makes it 2-1. That's 2 goals in 26 seconds. Then at 3:09, so 30-some seconds later, 28 seconds later, Jason Dickinson reties the game at 2. Alex Vlasic carries the puck into the zone calmly, puts it behind the net to Foligno, and Foligno gets it to Dickinson, who does not miss. Great shot by Dickinson on that one. Foligno and Vlasic with the assists. That's the third goal in 1:58. Then the Hawks make it 3-2. Nick Foligno again. Seth Jones carries the puck to center ice, gives it to Foligno, and then Joey Anderson gets the assist. So Foligno from Anderson and Jones at 5:21. So that is 4 goals in 3:10. And the Hawks lead.
Stretch there.
Yeah. Hawks lead 3-2. Then with 12:59 gone in the second, Ryan O'Reilly scores a power play goal on a massive rebound from Arvid Soderblom. That was the Lucas Reichel penalty, which he had I think it was, wasn't it?
No, I think they killed that one. It was the Vlasic. No, it was the tripping penalty on the defenseman.
It was the Tenorti one.
Tenorti.
The Tenorti trip.
Where Tenorti got penalized because the guy saw him come and moved out of the way.
Yeah, bad call. So there you go. It's tied. Nothing happens in the third. Nothing happens in overtime. And then the shootout, Nyquist scores. Bedard scores. O'Reilly scores. Tyler Johnson does not. And then Philip Forsberg with the game winner. So Nashville wins the game 4-3. There you have it. So, yeah, I mean, frustrating because it felt like a game that was there to win. And if Soderblom just makes one big save or kicks out one less rebound, the Hawks walk away with 2 points in this one.
Yeah. I mean, it was 2 rebounds and a sloppy zone exit. I mean, that's kind of been the story of the season so far.
Yeah.
Nothing new, but you got 3 goals. You scored 3 goals. You equaled the amount of goals you scored on that 3-game road trip.
Exactly.
But it all came from one line.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're going to get into a lot of the Lucas Reichel on the fourth line, but that third line, Foligno, Dickinson, Anderson, everybody else on that team needs to be watching them because they are playing the brand of hockey that Luke Richardson wants everybody playing. Get the puck in the zone, get the puck on the net, crash the net for a rebound. Forecheck,
Yes.
dump, get puck, shoot puck. Everybody else wants to get in the zone and start trying to Harlem Globetrotter it. The fourth line was decent. Donato had some extra...
Yeah.
Put an extra scoop of sugar in his Wheaties or something
Yeah.
because he had a little jump. You know, the Gutman line was fine. Gutman looked good.
I think it was Alan pointed it out in the chat that Gutman is a guy who is not afraid to go to the high danger areas.
No, yeah, he's
He enjoys it.
That's
where goals happen.
Yeah, he's fine with that. But Johnson and Radish on the wings are kind of a whole lot of meh right now, and the top line was. They had some bursts, not a lot of scoring chances, not a lot of sustained offensive zone time out of them. The problem with that line has been with the Bedard line all season is that line spends way too much time in the defensive zone.
Yeah.
That line needs to be in the offensive end of the ice, but they've got nobody that I'm not. I did a little. Q&A in the Discord, Die Hard Only Discord today. Had an hour to kill at the office, and our guy Alexander from Portugal asked me, "What do you think of Bedard's defense?" And I said he's fine. He's trying.
Yeah, the effort's there.
Like, he obviously cares about playing defense, which is a lot more you can say for some of the other guys who've come through here.
Yeah. That's why Kane hasn't played for Detroit yet. The piano has not arrived.
Right.
The Steinway people are delayed.
Well, the funny thing is, like, he didn't want to play against the Hawks. He didn't want to play against the Rangers. Couldn't play against Buffalo, but he's waiting for all of a sudden the Red Hot Sharks. He's going to make his debut. Like, I shake my head at this stuff. I know it's all like not on purpose, but in my head it is. It's like, oh, I have to go play with my buddy Alex DeBrincat, and I can't play until the Sharks are in town. I need it to be as easy for me as possible. Mm-hmm. I know that's not the case.
It feels like it.
But it just, that's how it's...
well, look, he knows what it's like to go to a new place with big expectations and not have a great start. It happened with the Rangers. He figured things out. Things got better. But the Rangers fans were looking at him like, he's going to come and elevate us to superstardom, and he was just kind of a passenger on that team.
You're not getting 2015 Patrick Kane.
Right.
But anywho, Bedard's defense is fine. Like, the effort's there. I don't think he's figured out the right ways to take angles, the right ways to get pucks loose. So that line, even with Beauvillier, they're just, once it's in the defensive zone, there's no one there who's going to go get that puck and get it out. So you've got this dynamic best rookie in the league, maybe top 10 player in the league right now, but he never has the puck in the offensive zone because they can't get it out.
And I mean, you saw it in overtime too. Like, he was so out of gas when he had that rush one-on-one with Ryan O'Reilly. He got a shot off, and Saros made a great save, and he certainly could have won the game even with that exhaustion. But when you're chasing and you're defending, when you finally get it back, all you're going to be able to do is dump it in, or you're going to run out of gas on your way into the zone. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Let's get into Reichel a little bit after the break. I definitely want to do that. And hey, have you heard that the NHL draft's going to be at the Sphere in Las Vegas? Unrelated. Have we mentioned how much we absolutely love our friends?
I love CIRCA.
At CIRCA.
They're the greatest. I hope to maybe be in their resort one day, preferably last week of June.
That would be amazing. Just, unrelated to what we were talking about. Just because I'd just like to go to CIRCA, but especially in late June of 2024. That would just be... I hear it's lovely in Vegas in June of 2024, and I don't want to miss it. That's for sure.
I hear.
But you should download the CIRCA app, and here's why. They've got those tight money line splits and a low hold model. Their games strive to be a minus 110 split on the CIRCA Sports menu, unlike other sportsbook, which may use minus 115 or minus 120. What? What is that?
Garbage.
CIRCA Sports keeps as little money as possible on large market bets. That means futures, golf tournaments, etc., especially compared to other lesser books. They've got high app limits and transparency. If you are a great bettor, they're not going to prevent you from betting. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit winning players. Not me, but winning players. We encourage all bettors, they do, at CIRCA, to download all the sports betting apps and explore the other options, and you will find that most of the time, CIRCA is going to have the best lines for you. And what's really great about CIRCA is their customer service. Run by humans, and the people that run the app are the same folks that run the sportsbook at CIRCA Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, which, again, I hear is absolutely lovely the last week of June of 2024. Just beautiful.
There's only one way to find out, right?
I think it would be irresponsible of us to not check it out and back up our claims.
I agree.
All right, we're going to have to do that. Download the CIRCA Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also, be on the lookout for CIRCA events, watch parties, and tailgates. And if you or somebody you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537, or text GAMB, G-A-M-B, to 833-234, or you can visit areyoureallywinning.com.
You know what else would be irresponsible?
Not going to CIRCA.
Buying floors from anybody besides Empire Today.
I'll bet CIRCA has floors from Empire.
I mean, if it's as great as they say it is, they definitely are floors from Empire.
They gotta be.
Empire floors are the best.
Yep.
With Empire Today, Chicago legends.
That's right.
You get shop-at-home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. They keep shopping for floors simple with a curated product selection. Empire's philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. What they leave out of their selections is as important as what they put in. Empire's product team exhaustively combs through thousands of product samples each year to find the perfect styles. Plus, they have this really cool virtual floor designer. It's a great way to see how new floors will look in any space. It's easy. Just snap a picture and instantly see how the new floors will look in your room. Shopping for floors at a big box store can be frustrating because it's a giant box and you don't know where to go. You might talk to someone today who was working in plumbing yesterday. Flooring is all Empire Today does. They live and breathe flooring, so you can be confident you're getting honest, upfront advice. They pride themselves on their convenient shop-at-home service. They help customers shop for floors where they use their floors so they can see exactly what their new floors will look like in their home's lighting and decor, and they can make the informed decision. They service their own warranties. If an issue does arise, just call Empire. They service all warranties themselves. You won't have to track down a manufacturer's phone number. So schedule a free in-home estimate today. You don't even have to leave the house, but you probably have to put pants on. All listeners can receive $350 off when they use the promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details.
So you got Philip and Lucy calling you out in the chat for saying that Reichel would have a 50-point season.
Yes.
And they think they're trying to make you look stupid. The point is when he said that,
he was playing.
No one batted an eye at that.
He was a point-per-game player when he did that.
Yes.
And that was also before they won the draft lottery.
Right.
But, yeah, I did say that. I don't deny saying that. I don't delete things.
No, but I mean, I think they're trying to dunk on you that you were wrong. But who you should be dunking on is Lucas Reichel, who we have seen play well and play at a high level. And for whatever reason, now 23 games into the season, he just has not found that fire. And look, did he have a better game today than he had most of the season? I would say so.
A little better,
but
more noticeable. But when you look at his stat line, it's like, oh,
it's another nothing. Yeah. He is a non-factor, and I know you can't read everything into a box score, but when they all look like this every night, -1, 12-21 of ice time, 1 shot. I'm sorry, he's got to be better. And again, not giving up on him. All the qualifiers, yada yada, nice kid, so and so, but this kid has to be better. And look no further. If you've landed on Earth for the first time, or you just woke up from a coma, and you want to see what the problem is with Lucas Reichel is this year, watch overtime. He's one-on-one with a defender. He's got a step, and instead of driving to the net with the speed he has, he might be the fastest skater on the Blackhawks. That might be true. Instead of putting his shoulder down and driving past the defender and driving to the net, as we've seen Nick Foligno and Jason Dickinson and Joey Anderson and Cole Gutman do all year long, he peels off and looks for the pass. Again, attack the play. Use your skill. Blow past a defender and rip a roofer over Saros and win the game. Why are you afraid, Lukas Reichel, to win the game and to assert yourself? You're a damn good and skilled hockey player. There's no doubt he is the second most skilled guy on this team offensively. There's no doubt about it. I feel like he's the only one that doesn't believe it.
That's the problem. The biggest problem with Lukas Reichel right now is his confidence. It's shot. It's non-existent. There were times where, and there was a lot of discussion this morning when he was on that fourth line, and it was kind of like, okay. But, Luke Richardson had a good explanation, but I wrote about it this afternoon on ALLCITY.com. You can get all the quotes from there. And, at first it's like, well, that's not his style, but then it little bit made sense because part of Lukas Reichel's problem this year is I think he's trying to do too much. He's focusing on trying to do too many things at once. And playing on a fourth line, it's simple hockey, especially with guys like Donato and Entwistle. Those are two guys that are going to get in, get the puck, so then use your speed to try and make a play. Also, it might help him play simpler hockey. Plus, he's going to, instead of being out there against the other team's top 6 and top 2 defensive pairing, he's going to spend more time against the other team's bottom 6 and bottom defensive pairing. So that is another advantage.
That's the logic.
And I kind of like what Luke Richardson said. He said, I went to him and say, hey, we need you. Determination was the buzzword of this morning's media with Luke Richardson. He must have said, if you were playing a drinking game this morning where you drank every time Luke Richardson said determination when talking about Lukas Reichel, you would have had to go to the hospital. Like, he said a lot. But he just said, like, he's like, when the decision was made to scratch him against the Wild, we went to we talked to him and he gave us honest feedback back. And then this morning he said, I said, hey, I don't want to just put your number on the board and you go out there and go, yeah, I got it, coach, because that doesn't solve anything. Are you ready, or do you want another game?
Yeah,
to kind of reset and visualize it. And he said, no, I'm ready. I know what I got to do. And Lucas said it this morning. He says, I know what I got to do. I got to play better defensively, and I got to create more in the offensive zone. So they're saying the right things. Now we're just waiting for the execution.
Yeah.
It was better tonight. He was more noticeable, but just still, in the end result, it's not enough. I just wish, he needs to get that first 5-on-5 goal, and I think that's going to take a big weight off his shoulder. And the sooner he gets not only a 5-on-5 goal, but a 5-on-5 goal where he gets off a good shot and it beats a goalie.
Yeah, like his goal is a power play goal, deflection and an empty netter, basically.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that will help a lot. It's been very disappointing what he's done this season, or what he hasn't done this season. Very disappointing because, I declared on a post-game show last April that he was going to lead the team in scoring because he was playing that damn good.
Yes, he was.
He had 4 goals, 4 assists in his last 8 games last year at the NHL level. He looked like the guy that we all thought he could be, or thought he was like, if Lukas Reichel's ceiling is this, and it was that guy. That guy hasn't been there this year.
No, not at all. And it really haven't even been flashes. Like, it's one thing if you see him like, oh man, this game he had 2 or 3 good chances and it just didn't go in. He's not a factor at all. And you talk about, like, being in the right place and being responsible defensively. And I said this the other day when he was scratched, like, he is in the right places and he is technically handling the assignments correctly, but there's no execute to it. I'm supposed to be here, so I'm going to be here. Will I engage the guy who's got the puck? Probably not, but I'm standing in the right place. I'm doing the right things. But my X's and O's are like, if I'm looking at the Madden route, I'm running the Madden route and going to the place I'm supposed to go. But he's just not affecting the game in any way, shape, or form. And I will see that play in overtime in my nightmares for the next month because it was right there. The moment was there for him to blow. I didn't see who the defender was. He had a step, and he just chose to peel off and try and just look for the backdoor pass or the center ice pass to let somebody else do it. Lucas, dude, you're the guy. Aside from Bedard, you're the guy on this team that the team needs the offense from. You should not be deferring to anyone. To anyone. Go make a play. And I see Norroyd said Reichel's scared to get hit. Maybe that's it, but he wasn't scared to get hit last year. We saw him play in Rockford. He wasn't scared to get hit in Rockford. It's something different this year. I'm telling you, it's between the ears.
It's a lack of confidence.
It totally is.
A lack of confidence.
Man.
The hockey IQ is there. He's positionally sound. When you're saying he's not impacting the game at all, you're right, because he's not necessarily negatively impacting the game.
Yeah, it's just a non-factor.
He's just out there. I mean, you could say he's negatively impacting the game because he's not producing offensively, but there's not many plays where you can go, oh, my God, he cost us the game because he totally space-brained it in the defensive zone. You're not seeing that. But, he's 21 years old. He's still played less than a full season in the NHL.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not giving up on him.
I'm not ready to trade him. I'm not ready to do anything. If anything, the way he's played this first half, he's going to save the Blackhawks some money on a 2-year bridge deal.
Yeah,
they're not going to try and give him that 4 or 5 year deal now. They're going to give him probably a Philip Kurashev type deal. Go out there and prove it, and that's fine. It's frustrating and it's disappointing watching him struggle. And if we're frustrated, you can just imagine how frustrated he is. And Richardson was asked this morning. He says, has you seen anything for difference in him? And he said those Detroit and Winnipeg games he wasn't necessarily frustrated, but he was down on himself, and that's uncharacteristic of him.
Yeah.
And Lucas said that it was a bit of a shock when he learned he wasn't going to play, but he understood. And he says, man, the game looks so easy sitting up there, but it helps you get a perspective, and he says he knows what he needs to do, but he just needs to do it.
I don't want to simplify it and say once he gets that first one, he'll be off to the races, because we said that when he started without one, then he got one. We're like, oh, maybe this will unlock him. No, not really. Then he got another one last week. Hasn't really done much. I don't know. Like you said, I'm not calling him a bust. It's way too early to say that. Someone in the chat pointed out Lafreniere, who's finally starting to get it this year, and that guy was a no doubt number 1 overall pick. Everyone knew it. He went to a team that was good already, that had a solid roster. Lafreniere had every excuse to be good right away and wasn't. Reichel is a 17th pick, and it takes time for prospects to develop. And I think maybe he was so damn good in Rockford, and he was so good in that final call-up of the year that I think we all sort of said, all right, he's arrived. This is not a finished product, but he is a for sure NHL-ready guy, ready to go. And we were saying all summer, if he doesn't start the season in Chicago, I have questions about Kyle Davidson, right? Because at that point, it seems like it's almost just vindictive to keep him out. But if they send him down, if the rest of the week goes, if Thursday's game is another one like this, it would not shock me to see them send him down temporarily. You've got a bunch of forwards down there that are on fire right now. Colton Dock's on fire. Ryder Ralston scored tonight. Even if it's just to send a message, or even if it's just to say, Lucas, go down there, score 4 goals in 3 games, and then come back up ready to go. Because, damn, I really wish we could play highlights on this show, because we just don't have the express written consent of Gary Bettman in the NHL. That play in overtime, damn, it was there. I almost in my chair, I was oh, here it comes. This is the moment. And he opted out of the moment. That is concerning.
That's a confidence issue right there.
Yeah, that's
a confidence issue. We saw that a lot with Kirby Dach when he was here, and just I don't know what the answer is to get out of your own head. I don't know what that is because I'm someone who's been trapped in my own head for almost 45 years.
Well, me too. But you think like some success with it, right? Like,
yeah,
maybe I would have asked that girl out in college if the girls in high school said yes.
It's not a bad philosophy,
right?
But so yeah, it just again. Like if we're frustrated, imagine how frustrated he. Imagine how frustrated.
I feel awful for him.
Imagine how frustrated Luke Richardson is. It was like I don't know what to do, but I can't keep having zeros every night.
Well, you know what I'm doing next game? I'm changing nothing. This is the lineup I'm going with again. I'm keeping Reichel on that fourth line, and just have him play his way out of it. Because I like your point earlier of the fact that like by playing him on the fourth line, you are forcing him to simplify. You're not going to be weaving in and out of traffic and looking for drop passes. Like, just go north and south, and you can be the facilitator and the scorer on that line. Like, and again, go back and watch the tape of that Foligno, Dickinson, Anderson line. Just get the puck in.
Get puck,
get in the
puck.
And look, a lot of times we've been sort of excusing the Hawks and saying, like, well, they're losing puck battles because they don't have a lot of speed. Anderson, Foligno, Dickinson, we know, is faster than Nathan McKinnon. That's just science. But
numbers
the other
don't
two don't have game-breaking speed. But you know what? It's a willingness to get into the corners and go get it, go retrieve it. And you saw how many times did we see that line cycling the puck?
Every time. They play without fear. They play simple. They play, they play the exact type of hockey Luke Richardson wants everybody on that team to play.
Yeah.
He is Luke Richardson's like dream line right now. Play simple hockey and
It's the reason they start the game.
Yeah. I mean, they're the most dependable line and they're trying to set an example for the rest of the team. But as Nick Foligno has said many times this year, you've got to want to play that style of hockey. It's not, while it is an easy style and is a simple style, it's a style that's going to leave you with a lot of bruises at the end of the night, and some guys don't like that. So they'd rather skate around the outsides and try for pretty goals.
Well,
but in the NHL, most goals are scored by paying the price. Very few pretty goals are scored, outside the dots. You got to go work for it.
Yeah. A lot of people talking about maybe taking Tyler Johnson or Taylor Radish out of the lineup. I'd have no problem with either of those. Tyler Johnson just looks like a guy with not a lot of hockey left in him.
Or just going through the motions to the trade deadline where he gets put on a contender.
I mean, look, it's
Wouldn't be the first guy to do that, but,
it's tough for me to scratch Boris Kachuk. That's a guy
and
who's
Johnson
going out there and
scored
playing.
some good goals this year, but it's just, I know
He gets the opportunity, though.
I saw people were questioning Tyler Johnson on the shootout. We both kind of looked at you like, Tyler Johnson?
I mean, there's a place you can put Reichel and get him going.
Yeah, I mean,
I know they do shootouts.
It's their first shootout of the season, of the regular season. I know they do the shootouts in the practice, and I know Tyler Johnson is probably one of the best at that. Otherwise, why would he be put out there? But you didn't lose the shootout because Tyler Johnson shot second. You lost the shutout because Arvid Soderblom didn't stop a single puck.
Yep.
If he makes one save, you probably do have Lucas Reichel shooting third with the game on his stick.
Yep. Oh, boy. Couple quotes coming in from postgame, not a ton. Mark Lazarus. This is Nick Foligno. He says Nick Foligno saw flashes of what he feels the Blackhawks can be, but he wants to see, quote, sustained flashes. Here's a quote from Foligno, quote, "It's there. It's like when your kid acts out, you know they can behave, but they do the other thing. I guess I'm still trying to figure that one out as a parent." And then Seth Jones, this is via Ben Pope, on being stuck at 0 goals this season. "It's a struggle. We're not a big rush team, so there's not a lot of chances that come from there. So I've got to find a way to be a little more involved in the O zone without being careless and over-aggressive and giving up chances the other way." That's a line I'm trying to fight right now. By the way, I looked at it the other post-game show, and I forgot to mention it on the show. The only person with more shots on goal on this team than Seth Jones is Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
Like Seth Jones and he has a pretty healthy lead as second. At some point, he's going to get some puck luck and something's going to go in.
Reminds me a lot of last year. He was doing this a lot last year, where he was second or third on the team in shots most of the year last year.
Yeah,
depending on who was here, and just it's not from a lack of trying, but he had the Hawks don't score that first goal without Seth Jones making the play, getting the puck down, and finding Foligno, who again gets the puck and says, I'm going to flick it towards the net. And look at that. It's somehow got through, and it's a goal.
That's how goals are. I've said it over and over again. It's how goals are scored.
That's how 90% of the goals are scored in this league.
Yeah.
They're not pretty. They're not Sports Center worthy. The kids still watch Sports Center. They're not TikTok worthy.
I like how we say, do the kids still? And Sarah on the other end says yes or no.
I watch it sometimes.
Okay.
And the only hockey thing I've ever seen on Sports Center was from college, and that was pretty cool.
All right.
That was it.
Sarah's our youth correspondent.
Yes. We have a couple of youths.
It's like Channel 1. Did you have Channel 1 back in the day?
I did.
Do you know what Channel 1 is?
No.
Okay. Should we have Old Man Corner for a second here?
Channel 1 was like this, like you watched it in homeroom in high school. And it was like public acts, like not public. But
it was new. It was like news for. It was news aimed at high school kids.
So it would be like 5 minutes, and they'd put it up on the TVs in homeroom, and it would be other high school students telling you the current events and the important issues of the day.
You know who they were?
No.
Anderson Cooper.
Really?
Yes, Lisa Ling was one of them.
Okay.
Serena Outschul, who went to work for MTV News. A lot of people launched their careers from Channel 1.
Are you writing a book on Channel 1?
I should, but it was cool. I watched it all as someone who had eyes on broadcasting, even in high school. It was
Channel 1 was cool.
Yeah, and a lot of those people wanted to say, there you go, Old Man Corner. We need a graphic for Old Man Corner.
The more I know.
See, exactly.
The more I know.
See,
Thank you.
We got someone who remembers it.
There you go. Now you know. Now you even know about Channel 1.
We're not making this up.
You can impress a Gen Xer with your knowledge of Channel 1.
You can impress your boyfriend's dad that you know what Channel 1 is.
It's probably younger than us. Anyway, you know what is great? Just like Channel 1. Goose Island Beer Company. Chicago's beer since 1988. They remember Channel 1, damn it. Thank you. They've got the amazing roster of beer, the Blackhawks Pale Ale, the Bull and Goose. I don't know why my brain melted on that one. The 312 Wheat Ale, that is the flagship. That is fantastic. The Full Pocket Pills, that's what the Goose Island Brewers are really into. So many great options from our friends at Goose Island. Make sure you grab yourself an ultra fresh brewery exclusive beer at Goose Island's original brew house on Clybourne in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown. That place is really cool. The Westtown, they're both great, but the tap room on Fulton is fantastic. Go check them out. Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer.
And it's easier for businesses to switch to electric. It's getting easier for businesses to switch to all electric vehicles. That's something we can all get behind for the health of the planet and for the well-being of all of us who share it.
Yes, the electric grid is evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we all move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow. Whether you have one delivery van or a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd can help guide you to make the changes that make sense.
So what should business owners do? Do you have an idea?
Greg,
besides watch Channel 1?
I am so glad you asked, and I did not get this info on Channel 1. I just know it inherently. Go to comed.com/clean to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, don't wait. Start making your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. Good for business, good for the planet, good for all of us. Go to comed.com/clean.
Did you say comed.com/clean?
Yes, I did. Now go and see how going electric connects us to doing a better way of business and a better future for generations to come.
We need the planet to be around for a few more years so
That'd
Connor
be nice.
Bedard can win all those Stanley Cups.
Yeah, we can't have global warming melting the ice during Connor Bedard's prime, damn it.
Yes, we can't.
That would be terrible. That would be absolutely terrible. All right, how's our web poll doing? Do we have a pretty definitive winner here for 4-star?
Yeah.
All right, let's reveal the 4-star of the game. You guessed it. It is number 17. Your default captain, Nick Foligno, had a fantastic game. We call this a karma game. Had his kids' hockey team on the bench for warm-ups. Very, very cool.
But they did come back every day.
That would be wonderful. 2 goals and assists, plus 3 shots, 5 shot attempts, a hit and a block shot. Even the under-the-weather Mario chimed into our Slack and said, how did Foligno not get a 3rd star? Exactly, Mario.
It was kind of funny because when he scored his first goal, that first break, I checked the NHL scoreboard, and I had seen that his brother Marcus Foligno had also scored his 3rd goal of the season for the Minnesota Wild, but he did not score his 4th. So Marcus is not as good as his brother. Nick is the better of the 2 Foligno brothers right now. 5-4 is good goals. So
You know what's interesting? I wonder, just the top of my head, what is the contract status of one Marcus Foligno?
he just re-upped.
Oh, he did just re-up.
He re-upped.
He's $4 million after this, so 3.1 this year. Then he signed a $4 million extension for 4 seasons. So, damn,
They're making the same amount of money.
Foligno brothers fantasy is my dream of the
Nope.
my desire. Nope.
Nope.
I would like to see the Foligno brothers as teammates.
Yes.
There we go.
Well,
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Blackhawks have to get him Nick a little extension here to prevent him from becoming his teammate in Minnesota.
Yeah. I would, if I was handicapping that, I would think that he's going to be back. I know the Blackhawks are very happy
If
with
Nick
everything
Foligno
Nick Foligno
wants
brings.
to play hockey again next season, I would be shocked if it's in any other jersey but a Blackhawks jersey.
It's interesting.
I
mean, they can pay him big money again too.
pay him another $4 million for another year. Like, why not?
Yeah.
He's a guy I hope sticks around. I like talking to him.
I do too. I think he is so valuable to have, like, in the situation the Hawks are in now. He's kind of that perfect guy who, can guide without being intimidating. And we did talk the other day about maybe they're missing a bit of that intimidation that Taves and Kane brought, where those kids looked around that room and said, "Oh my God, I don't want to be the guy that disappoints Patrick Kane or
Right.
Jonathan Taves."
It's much easier to disappoint Nick Foligno.
Yeah. Yes.
Lord knows they've been doing it all season.
Right. Yeah. But it's not as scary. That's for sure. So I don't know. It's Taves isn't playing. Kane has clearly moved on, but you do wonder now in hindsight, like, I wonder if that's a factor. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's over. It's in the past. Let it go.
Would you, please?
Should write a song about that.
I bet you
go.
Taylor Swift has.
Maybe she has.
She writes lots of stuff about breakups, I hear.
Yeah.
Right, Sarah?
Sure.
Young person correspondent Sarah, is that true? Lots of songs about breakup. You know who writes a lot of those? Olivia Rodrigo. I know that. Lots of breakup songs.
I actually don't like her.
Oh.
I'm not a huge Swiftie either, and I'm not a huge Olivia fan as well.
You're earning some
They're
credit
just not. They're just not my kind of music. I respect them, but I just don't listen to them.
We're going to need a new young person correspondent here.
I have an old soul, Jay.
You are an old soul. I'll agree with that. You have like Deadhead stickers on your computer and stuff, and I don't believe they're just for decoration.
No, yeah, I listen to them. Yeah,
Nice.
I listen to them more than Taylor Swift. That's for sure.
That's great.
That makes 2 of us.
That's a good start.
Probably 3 of us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Should we pay off our segments? We did the 4 stars.
Yeah, we can do.
Should we
Let's
take a
want to
trip
go into Connor's Corner.
Yeah, let's take
Let's
a trip
do
to
it.
Connor. We need some happy music.
I love this music.
There it
Connor
is.
Bedard, 22 minutes in this game, no points. Ended up with 3 shots on goal, 6 shot attempts. He had 5 giveaways. It's not great. 2 takeaways, and won 50% of his 8 faceoffs. So this one, I would say, as the game was going on, I think I said to you, he just seems a little off tonight. Passes were missing. He was kind of maybe trying to make some things happen that he didn't need to. There was a play in the first period, maybe the second period, but it doesn't matter, where he was like between the Hawks blue line and center ice. He had 2 defenders on him, and he was like tried to like dangle through them.
Yeah.
It's like, even if you dangle through them, still all you're going to do is just dump the puck in. Like, just sometimes make the simple play, and I think he's learning, and I think those lessons will come every game, and those are to be expected with an 18-year-old player. But I don't know, just not quite the Connor Bedard we'd grown used to tonight. But again, at the end of the day, you look at the sheet, and he was still a major factor in this game. And anytime a game with the Blackhawks goes to overtime, sign me up.
Yeah,
with number 98 on this team.
It's fun. It's fun when he's out there. The crowd gets buzzed, and there was the game. What was the overtime game they won where Korchinski scored? Who was that against?
Seattle.
Was it? Sure.
Yeah.
No.
Wasn't it? No.
Whatever that game was.
Yeah, they all run together.
That was like some of the funnest. It's gonna bug me now. That was one of the most fun overtimes I've ever seen.
Toronto.
Yes, of course.
I knew it was a blue team.
That's what made it even more fun because it was a comeback win against the mighty Maple Leafs. Is this 2 games in a row where he's finished with exact even time on ice? Didn't he have 19 exact?
Yes, you're right about that. He did have exactly 19 last game.
I remember you were like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," and that happens. Like,
yeah,
that's 2
I forgot about
games
that.
in a row. What are the odds of that? And we are going to have to get different music as he gets older. I don't think we can use that music when he's 25.
Put like a heavy metal bed on it a little bit. We'll have to update his room a little bit.
Yeah.
Like get some like
in the race car bed.
Yeah.
You could do like his teenager vibe because he's a kid
like
now,
a teenager room.
and then do like
Get
a
an old
rebellious
Maxim
teenager
magazine over there or something.
Yeah, get a Jewel poster on his wall. And a pile of socks that no one wants to touch, like that sort of stuff. And
Yeah, a little magazine hanging out from under the mattress.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that's Yeah, Bedard. I mean, there was one play, I think it was the second period, where he was open and was waiting for a one-timer, and Beauvillier just like a 6 inches too far behind him.
Yeah.
And he was like, I saw that play develop. I was like, ooh, the goal coming, and he just didn't put it in the right place. But 82-game season. Apparently, if they want Bedard to get a point Thursday against the Ducks, they got to wear home whites.
Sure.
Because if he's wearing the white jersey, he's guaranteed a point.
Sign me up for the white jerseys all the time.
Yes. And I hope the Ducks and weird Pat Verbeek don't screw us and sit Leo Carlsson.
Yeah, that would suck.
They did that in Columbus against Fantilli. If you don't play him against Bedard, I'm going to find Pat Verbeek and be like, hey...
He'll be there.
Used to be tough guy who could probably still kill me, but you're old now. What the F, man?
We started a new web poll about what my cooler interaction today. Was it cooler that I took a leak with Barry Trotz, or was it cooler that I got to talk about soup with Dirk Graham?
Well, to complete the
all
whole
within
trilogy,
about 4 minutes.
To complete the trilogy there, I got to take a leak next to Dirk Graham, which was like...
Oh, nice. See?
It was like, wow, like... childhood heroes.
I also had to have Scott Mellenby scooch his chair in so I can get past him because he's more my size now than he was when he played. It was a lot of stars out there tonight.
He's Mellenby shaped now.
Yes, emphasis on the melon.
Yeah.
It's so weird to see old hockey players out of context. You're like, I haven't seen you really in 10 or 15 years. I know your face. Like Dirk Graham would walk past you in public and you'd have no idea it's Dirk Graham.
It took me there's 2 guys I did that covering the AHL. A lot of those guys, all those same scouts that are at the Blackhawk games are also doing the central, they're at the Wolves games, they're at the Ice Hogs games. Mm-hmm. So like the first time it was Dirk Graham, like I didn't recognize him, and then when I looked at the chart and I was like, holy shit, that's Dirk Graham. And then I literally sat next to Michel Goulet and talked to him for 2.5 periods before he got up, and I looked over to see who it was, and it was Michel Goulet. I had no idea. He had no hair, not the big bushy mustache anymore, but great guy.
Dirk Graham has short crop gray hair.
And he's
a gray goatee.
Skinny.
He's small.
Very small.
Not like a sickly way. He's just,
He took the opposite route that a lot of former AHL.
He's the non-Mellenby.
He took the anti-Amante route after he retired. He is not a Kachuk.
No.
He is a Graham.
He is not, no. Who else have I seen? Kirk Maltby's always around. He's a Red Wing scout.
Yeah. It was kind of fun seeing Barry Trotz.
Like, he is shaped like a refrigerator. It's crazy.
He looks like one of the Koopa Troopas from Super Mario Brothers.
Yes, he does. He is a square-shaped man.
He is a very weirdly shaped man, but a great hockey mind.
Yeah.
And Dirk does not really have the stash anymore.
It's a close crop goatee.
Yeah, and it's not as thick and virile as it once was.
Yeah. We just had a long conversation about tortilla soup.
Yes.
Well, what you getting there? I'm like, oh, it's tortilla soup. Is it spicy? I go, I don't know, Dirk Graham.
I have a feeling. I didn't think that was spicy at all, but I have a feeling that would be too spicy for Dirk.
Too spicy for Dirk.
Dirk Graham probably thinks.
I mean, he asked.
Dirk Graham probably thinks black pepper is too spicy.
Yeah, exactly. Josh says, "Where's Tony Amante these days?" Last time I saw him, he was doing Bruins TV.
Probably at an old country buffet.
But I don't know. He's really big. I'm not fat shaming him, but it's
just one of us.
It's surprising when a guy who I just semi-recently was an in-shape, dominant, super fast skating Chicago athlete.
You could tell the guys who hated working out and going to practice usually within 2 years after they retire. And good for them.
All right, I'm going to see if I can find a picture of current day Tony Amante for Sarah so she can throw it in there.
Take up
but
all the bandwidth.
I think he might have taken them all down. He might be like one of those guys.
Yeah. Hey, here's another fun fact about Dirk Graham. I learned this sitting next to him at an AHL game. His text tone is R2-D2 from Star Wars. So every time he would get a text message, I would hear R2-D2. And that made me love him even more.
I think he slimmed down a little bit. Good for Tony.
I mean, there was only one direction to go.
What's crazy, though, is... And sorry, we'll stop talking about stuff that doesn't matter.
This stuff matters. Our chat's loving this.
I remember when his son was born.
Talk about a Blackhawks loss.
His son, Ty Rocco Amante, plays at Boston University.
Of course he does. Where else would Tony Amante's son go?
It's just I remember that kid being born. Actually, he's probably graduated. Yeah, all his stats are from 2019.
Josh is trying to get the debate going again. Better 10, Amante or Sharp. We've argued this. That was a summer show. They're kind of the same dude.
They are very similar. I think that Amante was more of like a game breaker
because he had to be. He was on worse rosters.
He did more with less than Patrick Sharp did. Right. Like I think if you threw Patrick Sharp on those Blackhawks teams, he's not a 40-goal, 80-point guy.
Probably not. But
Amante, like him and Jamnov, like single-handedly were the offense of those teams, and Chris Chelios, who often would be like second on the team in scoring back then. But yeah, I mean, very similar players. But give me Amante just because I was a huge fan of his growing up, and in my formative hockey years, he was the Hawks' best player.
He was.
All right, last thing we have to do, and I'm putting it off because I have fallen into last place.
I am king of the blue lines.
You are the king of the blue lines, and that is our tiebreaker in this one, which is crazy.
Ever since we've changed what a tiebreaker is, I'm like 3-1.
But why? What did Kurashev do?
So
he only had one shot, two shot attempts.
But he had a couple of takeaways, which.
That's bullshit. Those are objective stats.
I don't know.
You guys came up with the scoring because I don't math.
Well, we got rid of the let's add everything up and just said if nobody has any points, we're going to use the game.
The blue lines,
and it was very close. Connor Bedard, who was Jay's pick, like he doesn't get a point for the shootout goal because it's not a real stat. I said I would if Arvid Soderblom would have made a save and the Blackhawks would have won in the shootout, then that's a much bigger difference.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, that shootout goal made no effect on the game at all.
You're right. It's fine.
So we're going to go by the card where Connor Bedard was a minus 0.35 and Philip Kurashev was a minus 0.34. I was slightly less bad, and I get the helmet. Nice. I get a goal.
Go ahead.
More.
Celebrate your big win.
I am no longer in last place until Thursday.
You're on a run, man. You've been.
It's all about the game score.
Yeah.
This game would be so much more fun if Blackhawks actually got points.
That would be fun.
Yes. We never pick guys that get points.
If we had Foligno and Jones and Dickinson today, it would be a lot more.
It would have been a lot more fun. But, we keep picking days where nobody has any points.
Yeah.
So we have to come up with goofy tiebreakers.
We should not do that.
And Clout's right. Nobody knows the rules. We
It doesn't matter.
we make it up as we go along because it's a silly game.
Yes, exactly.
Just like hockey, it's a silly game.
It is a silly game. All right.
We are totally making it up as we go along, Peg City. Thanks for noticing.
Yeah, come on, man. So tomorrow, I believe,
should be
rebuild
practice.
report should drop, right?
It is scheduled to drop. I hope that's the plan. It does drop on Wednesdays normally.
Yeah,
but with
Mario's
Mario under the weather, it might be delayed by a day.
We're all technically under the
So
weather, by the
yeah.
way. So yeah, keep your eye out for that if you're a diehard. And hey, if you're not, it's a good time to become one. Go to allchgo.com, click on that diehard tab. You'll get access to all of our great written content, like their rebuild report. I got my Blackhawks beat. Working on something with Petey from PHNX. Will probably be next week's Blackhawks beat. If you don't know Petey from PHNX Coyotes, former NHL video coach, we're working on a project together. And when I say that, I mean he's doing all the work and I'm reaping all the benefits. Because Petey's a good guy and I'm stupid. And he doesn't want me interfering with his work, which makes sense.
He seems like the type of guy that would totally be like, okay, group project, I'm going to do everything. I'll let you know when it's done.
Love it. Love that guy. That was always my favorite friend in high school.
Petey's a great guy.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. Not sure what this week's angle will be, but we'll find out. So become a diehard, allchgo.com. You get 20% off our store, the CHGO Locker, 20% off all of our events, exclusive merch, tons of great stuff, totally pays for itself. And hey, guess what? It helps us stay with you and bring you great content and pay for this great office space and get the mops we need to clear up the water when it rains.
Helps us pay the salaries of the Bears guys.
That's and that's needed. We need that for sure. All right, we are back tomorrow, 2:30. We're going to talk to our buddies from Chaos. We'll also have Greg will be at practice tomorrow. We'll have some news from there, hopefully.
Do we do the Nazar Slagert interviews tomorrow?
I think we should. I think tomorrow's a good day to
about
do that.
7 minutes.
Yeah, an irritated Frank Nazar and a very happy Landon Slagert.
We'll have somebody, either DJ and or Pete tomorrow. Pete's actually going to be in Chicago.
Yeah.
Not sure why. It's very secretive. I have a feeling I'm going to see him tomorrow at the practice facilities.
Oh, that'd
Just
be
a
nice.
hunch.
We'll take him to the burrito place.
Sure.
Let him pay.
Absolutely. He's got all that Olipop money to spend. So, if you want to check out those full interviews from Frank Nazar, Landon Slager, we'll have them on the second half of our show tomorrow. And then it's post-game shows all the way through the weekend.
Beautiful. And do we have poll results on is it cooler to pee next to Barry Trotz? I'm just kidding, Sarah. We didn't actually do that, did we?
Oh, God. Yeah, no.
And by the way, I didn't talk to Barry Trotz. That is violating code. You don't talk at the urinal.
No.
But you talk about soup with Dirk Graham when he comes up.
Right, when he asked about soup.
He asked about soup, so I had some soup answers for him.
Hey.
He goes, you're going to put some tortillas in there?
One of the
I
greatest.
go, yeah, I am, Dirk Graham.
One of the greatest captains in Blackhawk history asked me about the soup. I'm going to tell him about the damn soup.
Damn right.
That's
All
going to
right.
cross-check you in the skull.
We'll talk to all y'all tomorrow at 2:30. Thanks for being with us. Smash that like button on your way out. Tell a friend, all that great stuff. We'll talk to you Wednesday at 2:30 on the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.